apparently, with all that's going on, still smarting from my joke about him at the Oscars, you know.
She's a world-class liar. Just look at her pathetic email server statement.
We're supposed to believe he handed a $130,000 check to a porn star for no reason.
A lot of discussion has been taking place online in the past several months regarding Jimmy Kimmel's criticism of President Donald Trump's press conference in New York City during an episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live. Kimmel took advantage of the occasion to offer a sharp and critical assessment of the news conference during the segment. During his speech on Wednesday night, Kimmel relentlessly attacked Trump's private press briefing. During his UN speech, Trump boasted about China's adoration for his intelligence and addressed the growing claims of sexual assault against Brett Kavanaugh. He also voiced his view over the laughter of international leaders. Even though he is in the midst of a criminal trial, Trump still had time to criticize Jimmy Kimmel's Oscar hosting on Truth Social more than a month after the show began.
Look, Jimmy Kimmel is every night, he hits me, I guess. His ratings are terrible. He's not a talented guy. I hear he hits me all the time, so I figured I'd hit him because I thought he was a lousy host.
Mispronouncing him as presenter Al Pacino. The previous president was widely thought to have made a stupid move. Jimmy Kimmel made lighthearted remarks on Trump's apparent forgetfulness on his program Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Well, thank you, President Trump. Thank you for watching. I'm surprised you're still... Isn't it past your jail time? Oh. See if you can guess which former president just posted that on Truth.
Kimmel made fun of Trump's obsession with hosting the Academy Awards more than a month ago, pointing out that even Kimmel's parents had moved on and lost interest in it.
This was 5 weeks ago. My parents don't even care anymore. God, this man, who was our president, is on trial. He has 34 criminal charges against him. He's still mad about the Oscars. The only person still talking about this joke is him. It really must have got to.
It was a fun little bit of late-night TV. Jimmy Kimmel demonstrated his ability to deliver astute criticism of former President Donald Trump on his most recent show. A recurrent motif in Kimmel's performances is this. In his opening monologue, Jimmy Kimmel made light of Trump's legal proceedings for concealing a hush money payment he made to the adult entertainment actress Stormy Daniels in the run-up to the 2016 presidential election.
You know, Donald Trump is in the first week of a criminal trial, the first president to be on trial for a criminal offense for paying hush money to a pornographic film star.
In a witty reference to the notorious mobster Al Capone, he referred to Trump as Al Caporn at the start of his speech. He continued by making fun of the few Trump fans gathered outside the lower Manhattan courthouse, noting that even with his inflated ego, the number of Trump supporters appears to be declining. Kimmel mockingly said that Trump is primarily worried about the number of people in attendance, referencing the president's fabrication that his inauguration drew the largest crowd ever recorded. Nice try, Donald, but luckily for the rest of us, cameras exist. Kimmel concluded by predicting that Trump will soon be seated in a courtroom and then hopefully be landing in a jail cell. Later, Kimmel focused on Trump's complaints about being confined to the courtroom while Biden is able to run for office and make all the campaign appearances he wants. Kimmel released a video clip of Trump griping about his inability to campaign and the cold courtroom. In addition, Trump attacked Biden, saying he can't even talk clearly and that no one knows what he's up to.
I drove by there last week. I was in New York. There's no one there. You have no supporters in your hometown. There's one crazy lady outside his apartment building screaming at ghosts. That's all you got.
The American dream is dead.
There's no day with Donald Trump would be complete without a mention of the size of the crowd.
The crowds outside, we can't get, it's not a very big thing for us.
Trump is one to talk, as his long, drawn-out campaign speeches rarely ever make any sense. Kimmel made light of the possibility that Trump would serve 3 or even 4 prison terms as a courtesy. Although it is unlikely that Trump would be found guilty and imprisoned, many people would welcome the chance to witness it. Even so, we may continue to enjoy watching him mocked by comedic geniuses each night. Given his high self-esteem, it's possible that Trump dislikes this experience, which would only make it more entertaining entertaining for us. Many individuals dream about the possibility that Donald Trump will be found guilty and placed in prison. After all, there was a lot of controversy and turmoil during his administration. It is quite unlikely that this will occur, though. So instead, we have to take pleasure in his many humiliations in public. Fingers crossed, the jury will correctly convict Trump of his many charges and put him where he belongs, behind bars or locked up in a mental institution. Trump has an impressively large ego, which some might call his strength. For the intelligent people out there with half a brain, we know that this is just one of his many character flaws. His inflated ego frequently pushes him to make odd choices and remarks that baffle a lot of people. Trump is not above criticism in spite of his inflated ego. He really thrives on it. We therefore have no doubt that he detests every second of the jeers he gets from the general population.
Trump was heard audibly cursing in the court. The judge had to ask his attorneys to tell him to stop. How careful does he have to be about his reaction?
And then he makes a leap to a completely different moment in the show when I read his dumb post and everybody laughed at him.
Late-night talk show hosts, political pundits, and regular people all continuously make fun of and tease Trump for his behavior. Naturally, the fact that Trump finds this public mockery offensive simply adds to our enjoyment of it. Even when he is only somewhat suffering, we take pleasure in knowing that he is unhappy and take solace in the fact that he will likely not be anywhere near the White House in the future. Given the damage he has caused to countless people during his tenure, it only makes sense that he should be held accountable. Given his vast amount of wealth and power, it is unlikely that Trump will ever have to deal with legal consequences for his actions. However, at least we will know that he will continue to be the target of public mockery and disdain. Many find that this kind of retaliation is just as satisfying as watching him go to jail. Through his deranged portrayal of Gettysburg during the Civil War, he somehow manages to overshadow it. For a long time, late-night talk show hosts have been considered among the best comedians in the entertainment business.
This is 5 weeks sitting in a courtroom when he should be out reaching the American people and telling the American people what he would like to do for this country. And who shows up? Tens of thousands of people show up at Donald Trump's rallies. The Democrats hate it. There's not another person on the planet that can do that other than the Pope.
Get out there and you have more police. The only people that are let out there is the radical left lunatics. And they put our people 4 or 5 blocks away. There are a lot of them, too.
These hosts have captured audiences' attention for decades with their ability to transform current affairs and pop culture into funny sketches and gags. The distinction between comedy and politics has, nevertheless, become more hazy in recent years, drawing praise and condemnation for late-night talk show hosts who have opted to enter the political sphere. David Letterman and Jay Leno encountered criticism in the 1990s for their jokes about Monica Lewinsky, the former intern in the White House who had an affair with President Bill Clinton. The hosts were compelled to issue an apology after a large number of viewers deemed their jokes offensive and insensitive. The situation has changed as of late. Late-night talk show hosts, such as Jimmy Kimmel, have adopted a novel stance on politics by utilizing their position to criticize the policies of President Donald Trump and his team. Particularly, Kimmel has become a prominent voice in opposition to the president as it stands. Even during the impeachment proceedings, he has boldly made fun of Trump, criticizing the president's actions and choices in his monologues. Kimmel attacked Trump in a recent episode for visiting his Florida property, Mar-a-Lago, during the impeachment proceedings. He made light of the fact that Trump was tweeting and playing golf while the fate of the nation hung in the balance. Kimmel and other late-night hosts feel compelled to speak out, despite the opinion held by some that they shouldn't discuss politics.
I'm going to start suing people. I don't know. And I think I could keep Trump awake during the trial.
You couldn't find, but there's nobody like that. The look, the brain, the whole thing. We had a great relationship.
He never had an affair with Trump. I questioned whether she actually signed the letter because the signature looked suspect and sort of implied that she hadn't.
They feel that it is their duty as well-known individuals with a sizable fan base to raise awareness of significant problems and utilize their influence to affect change. This frequently entails openly criticizing the president and his policies in the current political environment. As for me, I salute these heroes for what they are doing and for educating people, especially young people, on the dangers of electing a man like Donald Trump to office. Naturally, Not everyone approves of this strategy. Some people watch late-night talk programs in order to get away from the hectic world of politics, and when the hosts bring up politics, they could irritate or frustrate them. Still, a lot of people find that late-night discussion shows provide an interesting and novel viewpoint on the day's news. These hosts are able to pique the interest of people who might not otherwise be interested in politics by examining political subjects through humor and satire. In general, late-night talk show hosts play a complicated and dynamic role in politics. Many others believe that these hosts have a responsibility to use their platform to speak out on significant problems, despite the opinion of some that they should stick to humor and let politicians handle politics.
We must hold accountable the nation which unleashed this plague onto the world, China.
Michael Cohen, his former fixer, who paid off a porn star days before the 2016 election.
It will be interesting to watch how late-night talk show hosts handle this delicate balance between comedy and politics as the political landscape continues to change and shift. Jimmy Kimmel confirmed at the Oscars that he did not reveal the winner of the Best Picture Oscar.
Now, don't get me wrong. I wish I was Al Pacino. I'm just not. He's Al Pacino. I'm me. I didn't present the award for Best Picture. I was the host. The host doesn't present awards. The presenters present the awards, and the person who presented the award was Al Pacino, not me.
Maybe as a result of the earlier confusion. Additionally, Kimmel joked about President Trump's courtroom naps, drawing comparisons to the role played by Al Pacino in The Godfather. He speculated that during his naps, Trump might have dreamed of being a strong mob boss, but Kimmel also raised a pertinent point on identity politics, highlighting the significance of evaluating individuals according to their own deeds and convictions. Finally, Kimmel brought up a famous comment made by Trump to Stormy Daniels, "Say hello to my little friend." Kimmel's reference to the purportedly incriminating passage from Trump's statement about his romance with Daniels served as a somber reminder that everyone, regardless of status, is accountable for the consequences of their decisions.
He would make everybody on stage look bigger, stronger, and more glamorous, blah, 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 make America great again.
Even when he's a private citizen, they're still trying to impeach him. I mean, that's how kind of deep this whole thing goes, and they want to tar and feather the man.
An admitted thief. That is who they're hanging the entire case on. The other one happens to be a porn star.
And my dad screwed both of them.
It served as a warning to those who abuse their power that the consequences of their actions will eventually catch up with them. Overall, Kimmel's address was a mix of humor and seriousness, highlighting the absurdity and importance of the issues facing our modern society. Interesting in joining the fight to keep democracy alive and keep fascism out of the White House? If you are someone who is tired of the lies and flat-out disgusting behavior of certain politicians, join our mission by sharing this video and channel everyone who needs to see the truth. Subscribe, hit that like button, and send this video to everyone who believes that nobody is above the law. The truth will always prevail. Stay calm, subscribe, and vote.